Good night. Next news. Dashboard camera catches disturbing video of tailgating truck moments before it crashes into median. Those things should be illegal. The cool down couldn't have happened to a more deserving person. 00. Below are your comments. Take away the license of anyone caught rolling coal. Fine them as well, and they get prison time for a second or subsequent offense. As the article says, it's not just about the harm it does to the environment. It's dangerous for all traffic around the coal roller. I agree with MWE comments. I live on a ranch and our tractor and pickup trucks are all diesel. Where I live, we have to renew our license tags on a yearly basis. Our vehicles must pass smog tests, which in actuality also includes a certificate certifying that the vehicle has not been altered in any way. This is not just required by gas vehicles but also vehicles that run on diesel. Because your vehicle must get certified yearly, it pretty much discourages people from altering our vehicles and also provides a way to effectively police the law that forbids the altering of vehicles, especially their pollution exhaust systems. When I recently had my gas-powered car certified, there was a guy who was told his pickup truck did not pass. He was angry and tried to talk them into giving him a certificate. However, the test equipment is connected to a computer system and the results are automatically transmitted to DMV, so you have to comply or you can't register your vehicle to drive. Perhaps if all states did this, it would help solve the problem of coal rollers. As a responsible owner of 2 diesel vehicles, this is disgusting. This is what gives diesel a bad name. For those who may not know, diesel fuel is energy-rich, which is why it's used in large transport trucks. It packs a lot of power per ounce, much more than gasoline does. But it also doesn't vaporize like gas does, so it has to be treated to keep the particulate matter it produces down. It achieved, but usually at higher prices. Diesel fuel also allows vehicles to get more MPG than gas. Because of that energy richness, it definitely has its trade-offs. But these guys who alter their exhaust systems should have their vehicles impounded, required to pay a hefty fine for the environmental damage they did when they had them disconnected. Semantics, nevertheless, they are not truck drivers. I drove heavily regulated Class 8 vehicles that require factory-installed pollution devices, adding thousands of dollars to truck prices. We truck drivers don't have time for that nonsense because we are too busy working. The guys you refer to drive pickup trucks and don't require any special bleep to do that. The antagonism against the environmental saving efforts we are embarking on are beneath logical. Near as I can tell, people in cars and trucks think those vehicles are an extension of their procreative organs or something, rather than mere conveyances. Rolling coal here in Wyoming is actually a criminal act and a motor vehicle violation. While we may not have inspection stations, it is against the law to tamper with a vehicle's exhaust system to bypass federal standards. I live near Denver, Colorado. We have a lot of these vehicles on the road, as well as high-performance sport cars. I have observed many of these vehicles and have come to the conclusion: just because you own it doesn't mean you can drive it or park it. $10,000 and 1 year suspension for getting caught rolling coal. $100,000, 10 years mandatory, and perm. Anent suspension minimum for rolling coal resulting in an injury or damage. Up from there based on severity. There is no excuse. There is no reason. It is nothing more than deliberate ashholery. Things that would stop this in its tracks. First, you revoke his license plate until he proves he has restored his truck to EPA standards. Then you make him pay an EPA-related fine. Call it a moving violation and attach points to his driving record. Nothing speaks louder than hitting a person's wallet. I'm glad he crashed, but he didn't learn anything and he will be doing it again. You need to find those altered trucks and confiscate them. Be prepared because you are going to have 1,000s of trucks because they don't believe that they are doing anything wrong and that they should be allowed to do whatever they want. Forget the state, the driver has violated federal law. Get a dash camera so you can capture the license plate and send the video to the EPA and any other federal agency with jurisdiction over vehicle tampering or pollution on a federally funded roadway. Also, do not forget the state OMV, because the emissions have been tampered with. The safety inspectee on sticker is fraudulent. The OMV can go after the owner and the station issuing the inspection sticker. The first time I saw someone rolling coal, I thought their truck was on fire and called 911. I don't know what happened after that, as I took a different exit than the coal roller. I hope the person processing his insurance claim comes across this video and his claim is denied for gross negligence. Until a few days ago, I'd never heard the term rolling coal. Today I saw a pickup truck with a huge exhaust pipe pass by on a 3-lane bridge. As he passed, black smoke, reminiscent of the old semi-trucks, poured out. It stunk and was disgusting. I don't think it was meant for me, because he did it several times farther down the road. What I don't understand is why that type of vehicle isn't stopped and given a citation for pollution. Aren't there state laws in place for emission control standards? As with most laws, I'm sure they vary from state to state, but it's ridiculous to allow such blatant disregard for clean air. It should be illegal everywhere. Automatic loss of license, a year in jail, and $10,000. Ooh, fine. This is not just an environmental hazard, it is dangerous. It blinds other drivers and endangers any behind this vehicle and others' health. Driver got what he deserved. Nothing like someone trying to disprove air pollution by altering their vehicle to actually make air pollution. Please wait a moment. I live in rural Colorado and ride my bicycle on the county roads out here. I can't count the number of times I've had trucks roll coal as they pass me, completely obscuring my vision at times, not to mention not being able to breathe. I agree, these drivers should have a huge consequence. I'm thinking they should have their heads held inches from their own tailpipes while someone rolls coal on them. Karmic payback? I don't know why guys like this, and it's almost always a male driver who engages in coal rolling. And to breathe the exhaust they put out. The earth is a terrarium, the pollution doesn't magically go away. The soot produced by this practice hangs around a while and moves through the atmosphere a surprising distance. This means their kids could potentially be breathing it in. It's a dumb thing to do. Rolling coal here in Texas gets you a $1,500.00 fine plus whatever else they can come up with on the traffic stop, so you may be looking at $2,000 or more jail. I think we have all seen this guy on the highway. I hope no one was hurt. But I also hope his truck is totaled. Bike riding friends of mine were riding along the wide shoulder of a road when a person saw them, too. RNED around and came up on them and rolled coal. They called the police and many of them had GoPro cameras rolling. They met the police, showed them the videos, the police then went out looking for the guy. They found him and his buddy in the truck about 2 miles away. The driver had 2 warrants out for his arrest and his buddy had 3. They were felons and had guns in the truck. They are now in prison and going to be there for a long, long time. And they were caught all for being idiots and rolling coal just to be obnoxious. So let me see if I have this right. These people pay quite a bit of money to modify their trucks in order to pollute the environment, increase their own risk of cancer, spend more money on gas and potential contribute to vehicle accidents. In order to do what, exactly? Own the libs? Because apparently only libs have common sense? Yeah, okay, whatever, bros. Some hayseed tried for blocks get in front of me to roll coal on my EV and wound up rear-ending a truck. My dashcam caught most of it. I don't know if this was true or not, but I met a guy. Well, my sister did, but he seemed nice. On vacation down in South Carolina, and he was a Marine. We got to talking about outdoors stuff because the woods down there great for hunting. So, talking about environmental stuff, apparently one of these good old boys had a distinctive looking truck and decided to roll coal on a person jogging down the road. 'Cause you know, only libs jog. It was their captain. You see how this story ends when they see that distinctive truck out at a bar OFF base. As noted, karma. This type of action is usually brought on by a medical condition. Two of the most common are 1. Short man syndrome and 2. Overcompensation for a short time. The states step up and make it illegal and take the vehicle until court date. If found guilty, he state gets the vehicle. That will stop this practice right away. Possibly with luck his insurance won't pay for the damages. Alas, I doubt that will happen, but at least the rates will go up. Please subscribe to my channel. And if you like it, please thumbs up.